I just wanted to make a short video on just something very simple. This is what I see and understand, that the pattern of the end of the age has already been given to us, and it's a short time span that's given to us. But it represents however long this end of the age is. How long this is just really not that important. Just that it's going to follow the same pattern, and that is the after Messiah died and was resurrected, they taught the gospel, and then it went out to the Gentiles, and it went out to the whole world, because the world at that time was not like today with 7-something billion people, but more like 200, 300 million. And they were all closer to the center, if you will, not all spread out. Unlikely, because it did go out throughout the whole world. So it's hard to believe that there was man on all of the earth everywhere at that time, because that was a pretty impressive thing that Paul and the disciples did then, that helped Paul, get the whole gospel spread out in 20 years to the whole entire earth, one end to the other. Yeah, I'm not sure that there's like 6 verses that it did happen, and that's why I'm saying I think it was closer. They weren't all spread out at that time, all the nations. I don't think so. That's my understanding. Um, Either way, the gospel got spread out to all nations that existed at the time, under every, like it says, under every creature under heaven. Now, that's what's going to happen at the end of this age. That's going to happen, and that can happen pretty easily with our technology in a short time. It depends on what gospel means. Is it the gospel Christianity has preached? Because pretty much everyone has heard it. You're born and doomed to burn forever, but that's why Messiah came, to save you from real physical fire. It has nothing to do with sin and overcoming sin, but mostly, obviously, most importantly, because sin is like for a couple few years, but burning in a fire never ends. So really what he came to do is save you from physical, literal torture. Okay? That's the gospel. See, I don't believe that's the gospel that's going to go around all the earth. When the gospel goes out to all the earth, it's going to be the true gospel, not the lying gospel. And it will there's going to be like an awakening, like there was back then. It turned the world upside down, and then there's going to be a falling away. Can't go any other way, man. It just can't. That's the pattern. It's already been given, but most people don't see it. They lie and say it's going to be 5 billion people believing at the end when he comes. Will I find faith on the earth when I come? Rhetorical question. The answer is always no. No, I won't find hardly anyone, because it's going to be just like Noah's day. 8 people. It can't be like Noah's day if there's 7 billion believers or 4 billion believers, true believers, they follow his way, the true way. Not happening. Not happening unless I get a chastising rod spiritually and I'm severely corrected on what I just said, then I'll admit it. But I haven't seen it come. I've asked for it. I asked for the rod. Whip me, stab me, beat me if I'm way off on something. Ask and you receive. I believe he would do that. I believe this is the truth. A revival, sure, revival. What about the very end, though? Falling away of the revival. Sad but true. That's what happened. So you got the 30s AD, And people are starting to believe. You got the 40s starting to go out to the Gentiles, the 50s, the whole world's turned upside down. And then the last 10, 15 years is just all downhill. All the churches, all the assemblies of Asia have fallen away from me, Paul said. All of them, all the assemblies of Asia have fallen away from me. Everything he built through the message was starting to fall away. And then Jerusalem's utter destruction came. And New Jerusalem's, which is all around the world, it's not a physical city right now, destruction is going to come. And the harlot, all the temples, not one stone will be left. That's not going to be on the ground. You know, that's the picture. He's going to probably, who knows, maybe a 30.0 earthquake, at least 12. It's going to shake everything down, all of it, straight to the ground. Every single rotten temple building full of demons, like Revelation says, that have lied for 2,000 years is coming down. Every last stone. And good, let it be. That's wickedness coming down. Who would want to, please no, don't let that happen. That's evil what you're saying. No, it's not. The saints in Revelation are saying, you know, they're not literally saying this because they're dead, but they sleep. And they say, how much longer before you repay all this wickedness that they've done, the harlot and everything, the whole world, you know? Well, wait a little while longer until the rest of the saints die, just like you did. So don't think that this revival that's happening now is going to last all the way to the end, because, you know, it's not. Now, unless I'm majorly, severely corrected on this, then I'll repent and change my mind, you know, which is repenting. But I say it doesn't last all the way to the end. I say a great major falling away worldwide will happen. And there's going to be, you know, it's just going to be deception upon deception, wickedness, you know. It happened back then. It fell away. Paul said it. The disciples knew it after they all died, and even while they were still alive, the wolves came in and tore at the sheep, right? It happened. And then the last few years, it was just nothing but falling away, falling away. The few believers that remained literally ran to the mountains and listened to the Messiah. And that was their escape from Jerusalem's crumble and destruction. So that's the picture. Okay, it's given to you. You don't have to guess. You don't have to go, oh, is this false prophet teaching it's going to go like this, pre-trib rapture? No. The picture's given to you. Just believe it. That's the picture, okay? Because the temple was still standing, and everything that happened during the temple time is a physical representation and a type. So that was all of that was a type of the end of the age, which would be worldwide when all the leaven has spread and got lumped, which means every, you know, false temple building all around the earth. All around the earth, there's a false temple building everywhere. The end can't come until that happens, because that's the leaven being spread out all the earth, that the woman, harlot, hid in the dark and threw in some leaven in there, in the bread, you know, and it started growing and swelling to a great big satanic kingdom. 500 years ago, this wasn't even remotely, you know. Today, though, yeah, there's a temple building in every street corner. Most of them are false. Most of them are false. That's the leaven, the doctrine of the Pharisees, the liars, that has spread out through all the earth. And a woman is always looked down upon. Not literally like women, okay? Don't get this wrong. But like woman, symbolically in Scripture, is a harlot. That's what the Messiah means, that a woman took this and hid it. That's darkness, confusion, delusion, darkness, in secrecy, okay? You could call it the Jesuits, you could call it Freemasonry, you could call it corrupt wolves, pastors of the Protestants, and all these things. Call them whatever you will. Okay, they did this in secrecy and in darkness and fooled the whole entire world. into believing in a false Messiah that doesn't keep the commandments, and doesn't come from humanity, but comes from divinity, literally. Another Messiah, literally. One who that is not actually related to David, the offspring of David, as he says in Revelation. Literally the offspring of David. Do you know what that means? It makes my skin boil that people can't understand what that means. It's so simple. It means he's literally related. Offspring. It means that he didn't come from above, literally from some, and just floated down, pre-existed for aeons and trillions of years, and then watched himself become a blob and then grow up as a baby, and the divine part of the Jesus watched the earthly Jesus, and then he grew up and they collided and came together. Total pagan nonsense. I hate it because it's a lie, and it's pagan. And you can find this doctrine going back to Nimrod in Babylon. Literally, his had a illegitimate bastard son, Tammuz. Okay, all of this church doctrine teaching existed long ago. It's pagan to the core. Has nothing to do with truth. His truth, like I've said before, is unique. It's unique. Nobody teaches it save the elect. That's it. No one else can teach it because they're of the devil and they don't even know it. And they got doctrines of demons that would be very prevalent all over, especially in the latter part of the last days. It would be nothing but doctrines of demons. That's what it was before Jerusalem's destruction. Okay, doctrines of demons were going around all around everywhere. Love grew cold. All these things happened before Jerusalem's destruction. It got real bad and nasty. Real bad and nasty. And all the unbelievers stayed in there. They did not escape the destruction, but the true believers at the first sight of the Romans, they escaped and went out to the mountains and literally escaped the destruction. What's the answer for now, though, at this end of the age? Is it literally is going to a physical mountain? Is that what we're supposed to do? Is that where there's safety? What if you don't live by mountains? It's just a type, that's all. That's the catching up of, going up the mountain like Moses went up to the Father. Messiah went up the mountain shining. Moses came back down shining and found all the people, save probably just a handful, believing in golden calves and false gods and paganism and sin. That's what Moses found when he came down the mountain. Now, if you think the Messiah, when he comes down the mountain, is going to find something different, you've been had. You've been fooled, deceived. It's going to be exactly the same thing as the picture, the type, the pattern. It can't happen any differently. That's what I've been shown over and over again, confirmed over and over again. Hardly anyone teaches it. I'm sure all those mega churches, they're just talking about their satanic revival, which is just basically theology in your head, but live how you want afterwards. Justin Bieber kind of conversion. Total nonsense, mockery, laughable, sinful. Justin Bieber conversion, okay? With pastors that have their private part almost showing, with no shirt, walking in the streets like a gangster, practically naked. That's Justin Bieber's pastor. Give me a break. It's rotten. Liars, man. They lie when they say that they love their neighbor and that's what they teach and that's what they do. It's the satanic love. It's the kind of love you'll find at the Burning Man, where people run into the fire and die because they're like possessed from jumping around with masks and worshiping Satan while they're burning the Burning Man. That's the kind of wicked, spiritual, snakery love your neighbor that they have. Okay, it's not the love of our Creator. Totally different love. Totally different kind of love. I'm telling you, the moment something goes bad in their life, all those people that love and have spirituality, the moment somebody messes with their life, they are ready to kill and slaughter and beat the crap out of these people that mess with them for the most minor things. Throwing out your hands in the window and flipping people off, just ready to kill and like foaming at the mouth for somebody that may be like messed up or did something, driving. That's the kind of love that the devil has. Okay, it all looks good until it's put to the test. The true believer's love will just die before they hurt anyone, all right? They'll just get killed because they actually have the true love of the Father in them. They'll just die. They'll get killed before they hurt anyone. They won't hurt a fly. They won't even hurt a fly. But Satan's love, the burning man love, it's a lie, man. It's wickedness. I've seen it over and over again. Total contradicting, hypocritical nonsense. I've seen it at work for years. I've seen the people who call themselves spiritual for years and have seen their fruit when something goes wrong. It's just as nasty as anybody else when it goes wrong. No different. No forgiveness, just hatred. This is maybe coming off a little strong, but for some reason it seems like it needs to be. So there's a revival, and then there's a falling away of the revival. That's what happened. And then the destruction. Now, where were the people that escaped? They were still on earth here, weren't they? They didn't pre-trib off of the earth before Jerusalem's destruction, did they? They didn't pre-trib out of there and didn't, escaped all the tribulation and all this nonsense. It's not happening. Also part of the type is like almost all of the disciples were martyred. Most of them, is that safe to say? Most of them were martyred. What do you think that pictures for the end? Most of the true believers will be martyred and killed and hunted out and killed. That's what's going to happen to them at the end. It's going to be ugly. King Herod 2.0, seeking out one true believer and killing all the others, 2 years and under, just to get to one true one. It's going to be something like that. That's just a type of Antichrist spirit. It's just a type of the wickedness that's coming. That's here already, but it's coming. It was, it is to come. It's always existing. I don't know that people actually believe this, that it's going to be like that. It's going to be like that. And you will do literally anything you can to save your life. When it comes down to it, that's what the average person will do. They'll do anything to save their life. And they will have been deceived. And then that's it, that's it. They won't be inheriting the kingdom, they'll be in judgment. That's the best I can say it. I don't like to say too much else after that because there's not much else to say after that. Just that everyone needs a good whipping and correction. Everyone needs a good whipping and correction, but whoever the chosen are, they get it in this life. They're not having a party and a good time. It seems like no matter what happens, there's always something that goes against them. They're just happy if they could survive, for goodness sake, just survive. That'll be enough for them. But everyone else, it seems like they could get away with anything, and they're having a good time, enjoying it, partying, dancing, a lot of money, a lot of friends. What's going on here? How come they don't receive what we receive? They will. They got something coming. And you'd be better off like our Messiah says. He probably knows, right? A little bit better than all of us. It's better. It's better to cut your limbs off and all this stuff, destroy your body, your soul. Now, it's better to do that now than be cast whole entire body into Gehenna fire. Now, that doesn't sound good to me. So either way involves pain, but it seems like there is a better way. It seems like we've been given a better way, which doesn't sound like it's better. You know, doesn't seem like it's better, but I'm sure we'll see how much better it is at someday. We'll see how much better it is someday. Like we'll be able to remember those words and say, wow, that was surely the better way to live. You know, they're not casting off eyes and plucking out and cutting off limbs. They're not doing that. That's painful. Who wants to do that? You know, I know it's a parable. It's not literal, but you know, there's meaning to it. It's painful still to do that, right? Physically. Therefore, spiritually, it's painful to stop sinning. Nobody wants to do that. That's not nature, human nature. It's not human nature to stop sinning. You have to be out of your mind, literally, to follow this truth, this path, follow our King. You know, like for real, not a fake, not a fraud that just talks, flaps their mouth, and has 500 million subscribers on YouTube, you know, making lots of money off of it, whatever lies that they're telling. How come the people that really care about truth don't ever seem to become popular? They can't, because Satan doesn't give them the protection and worldwide fame. This channel will never have 500,000 views or subscribers or 30,000 or 10,000. It's not happening. And I'm glad it's not, because if it started to happen, I'd be a little worried. I'd be after doing a spiritual check on myself, you know, because almost everything I understand and believe goes against what everyone else believes and teaches. So it's never going to be popular. Good. You know, good. This isn't for the many called. This is not for them. This is for those that understand and can see the true way, and they live the true way, you know, the best that the Creator has given them. And we trip and fall too. Trip and fall and hate doing it. Make mistakes in your mind, you know, in your heart, these kind of things. They're constantly being examined and thought of every second of every minute of every day, you know, like literally what we read. They meditate on his law, on his way every day, you know, every day and night, day and night, day and night. They meditate on his way. I guess that used to be true for believers back in the day, but today, you know, oh, that used to be like that. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'd be a liar if I said that if that wasn't on my mind every day, day and night. I'd be a liar then. I got nothing better to do. I got nothing better, no better way to live. So it's frustrating. It's like Lot being in Sodom and Gomorrah and getting, you know, frustrated and tormented because he could see that nobody actually believes. Nobody was following the true way in Sodom and Gomorrah. And that's pretty much what I'm seeing right now, you know, and I don't know what people think's coming, man. Destruction's coming because it's wicked. Like I said, the love that people have isn't love. As soon as something goes wrong, they're cursing that person out. They're, you know, casting spells on them. They're wishing them death and all this stuff in their mind while they smile. That's who these people are. Don't be fooled. That's what they do. The Father's people, as soon as that kind of stuff comes up in their mind, they're banging their head on the wall, going, man, that was evil. Forgive me for such an evil thought. You know, that's true love. That's not the satanic love that looks good at first and then everybody ends up killing each other just like they do in the movies. You know, you got three guys and they just did some great act, killed a bunch of people, got to the prize, got to their cash. And then one guy has an opportunity to kill the other two so he could grab it all and not split it. That's Satan's love for you. They've been telling you that for years. Wake up. They don't love you. Your friends don't care about you. The moment you do something wrong in their eyes and don't support what they support or something like this, they're ready to ditch you and they wouldn't help you. They could care less. In fact, most of them would probably wish you some kind of evil or harm on you because that's just the way the human nature is, man. Now he hides the best that he can. He doesn't want to be found, this beast. Satan comes masquerading as an angel of light. You better believe those words. Many people say it, but they don't really see what the heck is truly going on. You know, many pastors out there could say that, but then what on earth are they teaching and what on earth is their congregation about? And that's what I'm seeing with these mega churches. You know, it's all about love, dog. You know, it sounds good. Don't be fooled. It sounds good. I won't deny that. It sounds good what they say, you know, love everyone, respect. But it's snakery, man. You don't accept a serial killer for who they are. They got to change. Just accept everything and love all things and love, you know, whatever. It's the Burning Man love. That's what it is. There's one story, I don't know, a year ago. I don't remember when it happened. I remember some kind of YouTube video where some girl plucked her eyeballs out after something, you know, after, I don't know, she was on some drugs and was worshiping this Burning Man thing, and she ended up plucking her eyeballs out because she, whatever, has her own story, literally thought that she had to sacrifice for the whole world or the whole world would die or something. So she plucked her eyeballs out. That's Satan's love, man. He would like to destroy you, not love. It's a joke, man. It's laughable. This world cannot love the Messiah or his people. This world cannot do that. That's what the scriptures say. They're true. It's not going to be found a liar on that day. There's not going to be 7 trillion people saying, "Oh, we did love the people, but we were of the devil." You know, not happening. This world cannot love you. It can only pretend until it blows up and finally unleashes at you and, you know, shows them how much they really love you. That's all that's ever happened in my life over and over again. It's been one big suck. I've never enjoyed it, you know, overall, like everybody else is seeming to or wanting to, or I don't know, pretending to. It's never happened. It's not a party. Uh, every single job I had sucked. Everybody, you know, they were never my friends. They were never good, uh, and they always turned on me anyways for what seems like no reason. School sucked. It was a total hell, literally every year, all of it, except for maybe kindergarten or something, first grade maybe. Then it started going downhill. So yeah, that's my life. That's I don't have aspirations and, you know, I'm gonna go to the moon in 5 years. I can't wait. No, nothing like that's ever on my mind. Uh, and that's I can't help it. Too bad. So sad, I guess. That's the lot. That's the life that the creator gave me. It's to make videos that I guess fade into the darkness because I don't even like being on camera. That's the truth. I don't like my face out there. I don't enjoy it. So that's why I don't mind when it gets dark like this. It's not because I'm a dark person or satanic or something. It's just I don't like my face. I don't like my face on the, you know, I don't enjoy that. I don't really care for that. So that's all I got. That's my thoughts for the day, for the night. The pattern already exists, so it should go down something like that pattern that we read about, from 30 AD to 70 AD. That's your pattern: a revival, falling away, destruction on the earth, and every temple crumbling. That's what I envision and see. When I read in Revelation about the great judgment of the harlot, and he says, "Come check out this judgment," and he's looking, and he's in the spirit seeing all this judgment, right? I just imagine it to be some massive catastrophe at the very end, when the earthquake totally crumbles everything to the ground. And not strangely enough, there's so many ads for movies, and there've been so many movies the last decade, 2 decades maybe, but especially the last decade, of sort of like a zombie apocalypse destruction. They know it's coming. The devil's telling you through his music, through his movies, okay? It's not conspiracy. They tell you. And then some of these people worship these artists and say, oh, he's a prophet. Oh, prophet such and such. Give me a break. They told them what to do. It wasn't their idea. They told them to put the circle and 666 and, this nonsense. And they told them what to do in the music videos and all of this too. They didn't just make it all up themselves. You know, what's one example that I could think of that I watched, that I've seen? I don't know. I can't remember. What is it? There's all kinds, you know, even bands that their name means like mass destruction or massive killing. Their name means that. It's because the devil knows too. He knows how to give some prophecy. He knows that he knows his timing. And the people that worship the devil know too, in their own twisted way. But anyways, so they tell you over and over again, it's not a joke. They told you before the age of such certain things came, and then it came. They told you about 9/11 for years, and then it came. They told everyone it was coming. And if that isn't America's symbolic picture of destruction, I don't know what is. What's better than the two towers in New York coming down? It's symbolic to me. The towers falling. When the towers fall. And I think America's the queen of Babylon. I think they're the head. They're the most powerful, the most influential, most controlling. She's the head of Babylon, the queen. Queen of Babylon. She sits as a queen. Perfect prophecy for today. Sure fits pretty darn good. The queen is the Statue of Liberty, and she sits as a widow and says, who can touch me? Who can hurt me? I'll never see torment in my life as a whole, as a nation, as Babylon. I'll never see torment. Well, I think that's it. Peace. Take care.